Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, First Presbyterian Church, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I'm Bobby Harding. This is your Saturday sermon preview for worship on Sunday, July 23rd, 2023. Welcome. So we are continuing our sermon series, Broken, Good News for Tough Times, and we're going to keep on heading into Romans. Last week we looked at the first chunk of Romans chapter 8. We looked at verses 1 through 11 and we talked about our mindset. The outlook of the flesh is death, but the outlook of the spirit is life and peace. And this week we're going to pick up in Romans 8 where we left off. We're going to start at verse 12 and go through verse 25, I think. Verses 12 through 25. Just had to double check. And yes, I am prepared. So take a look at this one again. Like I said last week, Romans 8 is deep and complex, and so might be beneficial to read it ahead of time before worship on Sunday. So what direction are we going with this? The sermon title is Labor Pains, and when you read the passage, you'll see why. And it connects with what we talked about last week. The idea that because we've been redeemed by Christ, and we have the Holy Spirit, the Spirit enables us to have a new outlook, an outlook of the Spirit, life and peace. And Paul is just building on what he's doing, and this week it's no exception. So we're gonna want to be mindful of that mindset or that outlook of the Spirit for what we're going to look at tomorrow. The outlook of the Spirit is what enables us, the outlook of the Spirit is rooted in our awareness of who we are as the redeemed of Christ. And who we are, according to this little section we're looking at, is the adopted sons of God, adopted children of God. We're going to talk about why the word sons matters. But don't get hung up on that. But who we are as adopted children of God, our outlook of the Spirit is rooted in that understanding. Part of that understanding of being adopted is what gives meaning to that outlook. Okay, I'm repeating myself. Anyway, with that awareness of being adopted sons and daughters, adopted children of God, then what? Because Paul dives into some talk about pain and suffering of the world and how we suffer with Christ. Why? And, is it worth it? Those kinds of things. They're good questions to ask, and that's what we're going to be looking at during the sermon. And the metaphor that Paul uses is probably the best metaphor out there for what's going on here is childbirth. And this idea that there's pain and suffering, but it's not an unproductive pain. Childbirth. It's not a fruitless pain. There's something when things go as planned, there's life at the end of that pain. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. Hey, pretty exciting. I know VBS is going on this week at the church. I know that we will also have some special guest singers in worship on Sunday, which is always fun. Don't forget, Sunday school at 9, worship at 10:15, one service. I think that's about it. I hope this message finds you all well and enjoying your Saturday. Look forward to seeing everyone tomorrow at worship. Grace and peace. See you then.